That's why it is called as crisscross inheritance. So another example after color blindness is the hemophilia. Hemophilia. It is also called as Williams disease, and it is also called as the royal disease. So why the royal disease? Because it was observed that this particular disease was there in many royal families during the 18th and 17th centuries, like a very very long back. But the royal families were affected with this particular disease. So because the royal families were affected, the disease was also called as the royal disease. Okay. So why it is called as bleeders disease then? So basically in case of hemophilia, so generally तुम लोगों ने observe किया रहेगा, okay, a person is walking और तुम लोग खेल रहे हो and suddenly some minor accident हो जाता है and then you start bleeding. Let's say तुम्हारे knee को injury हुआ है and the knee is now bleeding. So वो कुछ मतलब let's say कि वो कुछ 2-3 मिनट्स के लिए bleed होगा, but after that the bleeding will stop depending on the depth of the injury. Definitely कितना अंदर तक हुआ है वो इंजरी, इस पे मैटर करेगा, दैट इज आल्सो देयर. बट देन इन नॉर्मल, लेट्स टेक अ कॉमन एग्जांपल कि ओके कोई गिर गया है और उसको ब्लीडिंग हो रहा है, बट देन विद इन 3-4 मिनट द ब्लीडिंग विल स्टार्ट स्टॉप. व्हाई? बिकॉज अपने ब्लड में देयर आर सम क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स व्हिच एक्चुअली स्टॉप द ब्लीडिंग. बिकॉज अगर उसको रोका नहीं गया तो द एंटायर ब्लड फ्रॉम द बॉडी विल जस्ट फ्लो आउट, मतलब वो निकल जाएगा, बिकॉज देयर इज नथिंग टू स्टॉप इट. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू स्टॉप सच इंसिडेंट. एंड उसी के लिए अपने बॉडी में रहता है क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स. तो तुम लोगों ने ऑब्जर्व किया रहेगा कि ओके कभी इंजरी होता है तो ब्लड बह जाता है, उसके बाद द ब्लड विल स्टार्ट क्लॉटिंग. तो वहां पे ऐसे ब्लड विल स्टार्ट बिकमिंग मोर एंड मोर थिक, वो ऐसे थोड़ा गाढ़ा हो जाता है एंड अल्टीमेटली ब्लीडिंग स्टॉप हो जाता है. तो दैट्स व्हाट is not happening let's say in case of hemophilia. तो hemophilia में क्या होता है कि जब किसी को कुछ इंजरी हो जाता है या फिर someone is suffering from some problem, let's say physical problem, तो bleeding will not stop. मतलब इवन छोटा सा कट भी हो जाएगा, अगर someone is let's say cutting the vegetable और कट करते 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 उसके हाथ को छोटा सा माइनर कट हो गया है, बट इवन दैट माइनर कट विल नॉट हेल्प अस. मतलब उसमें से जो ब्लड जाएगा that will keep on flowing because there is nothing to stop it. मैंने क्या बोला था कि कौन स्टॉप करता है? क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर. तो इन दिस हेमोफिलिया पेशेंट द क्लॉटिंग sorry, the clotting factors are not working properly. So that is the overall background of the hemophilia disease. I hope तुम लोगों को समझा है मैंने क्या बोला just now. I hope सब लोग सुन रहे हैं, सो नहीं रहे हैं. So that's what. Now let's see exactly in detail what is hemophilia. So hemophilia is a X-linked recessive disorder in which blood fails to clot, as I mentioned, or coagulates, or coagulates very slowly. मतलब अगर normally किसी को 2 मिनट लग रहा है to for blood clotting, तो इनको 2 घंटा लग सकता है. So that's how the process is very very slow, and with by that time बहुत सारा blood बह जाता है. So the genes for normal clotting are dominant over recessive, obviously. So जो normal clotting के लिए factors है उनके genes are dominant, so that's why we are normal. So but in some cases if a person is having recessive gene or a hemophilia, it is he or she will be deficient of this factor. So there are different clotting factors, but then in terms of hemophilia we generally talk clotting factor 8 and clotting factor 9. Please mark this out, clotting factor 8 and clotting factor 9 के वजह से हेमोफिलिया होता है, ना होने से बेसिकली हेमोफिलिया होता है. So even the minor injuries causes the continuous bleeding, hence the hemophilia is also called as bleeders disease. Why it is called as bleeders disease? Because even the normal or minor injuries will cause excessive bleeding. Okay, so the gene for this hemophilia is nothing but the XH, which is located on the non-homologous region of X chromosome. So I hope you are clear now. Okay, all these sex-linked genes are present on a non-homologous region. And as we have seen in case of color blindness, even hemophilia shows the criss-cross inheritance. मतलब the grandfather will pass on the disease to the grandson through the daughter. So there are different phenotypes possible. It's as same as the color blindness. अगर तुम लोग को एक पर्टिकुलर डिसीज समझ गया अच्छे से, then तुम लोग कोई बाकी सब भी इजीली समझ जाओगे. So I hope you understand the color blindness. तो अगर कलर ब्लाइंडनेस समझा है तो हीमोफिलिया भी समझ में आ ही जाएगा. So in case of hemophilia, there are different phenotypes if you observe in males and females. So X capital H is a normal phenotype. Then you can see X small h is a hemophiliac, and then in case of carrier, XH and X small h. So that is a in case of females. But then, as I mentioned, in case of color blindness also, in case of males, there is no carrier possible. So there is only normal and there is only affective. That is hemophilia. So normal क्या रहेगा? X capital HY, and hemophilia क्या रहेगा? X small hy. Okay. So I hope you understand this particular phenotypes. So let's take an example. It's same as the hope you are able to understand. So let's marry between a male and a normal female. So when I say hemophiliac male, the genotype will be what? X small hy, and the normal female will be having both the dominant gene, that is represented by the capital H. So now take the just take out the let's make the gametes. So the male क्या देगा? एक X with the recessive gene, then the Y chromosome without any gene, basically for hemophilia. Again, the female, as she is having both the dominant gene, she will give the X chromosome with the dominant gene. And now just do the crossing. So you will see there are 4 possibilities. Out of 4, 2 will be daughters, 2 will be sons. And daughters भी अगर तुम देखा, the first daughter she will be taking the recessive gene from the father and the dominant gene from the mother. So as she is having dominant gene also, she will be carrier. Same goes for the second daughter, she will be also carrier. However, in case of males, as the hemophiliac male uh, can't give the X chromosome, there are no chances that the male will pass on the trait. That's why both the males in this case are normal, because उनको X chromosome कहाँ से मिलने वाला है? Mother से मिलने वाला है, और उनकी mother क्या है? Normal है. So there are no chances that they will get affected. Okay. So if a male is hemophiliac and a normal, so you will read this again. तुम लोग इसे पढ़ते रहोगे कि the male generally cannot pass on the trait. मतलब अगर male normal है तो वो pass on नहीं कर सकता. But then female can very commonly pass on the traits. So that is another point to keep in mind. But अगर male affected है तो there are chances कि वो अपनी daughters को दे सकता है. But even if it's affected, he or she he cannot give that affected gene to the son, but he can only give it to the daughter. Why? Because male can only give X chromosome for a daughter, and he can also only give Y chromosome for the son. So that is the one example. In another example, let's consider the marriage between the carrier daughter and a normal male. Abhi, in the first case, the female was normal, but in this case, the female is carrier. However, the male is a normal. So this is a very common case, and that's how the crisscross inheritance happens, because the female is not normal, she is carrier, and she will not show any phenotype as such, but then she is carrier. So जब वो कोई normal बंदे से शादी करेगी, the genotype if you see for a carrier it's X dominant and X recessive, and for male it is X dominant and Y. And now if you see the gametes, again just segregate the genotype and you will get the 4 gametes over here, 2 for the male, 2 for the female. And do the crossing. What will you get out of 4 in which 2 are daughters and 2 are sons? Only one daughter is a normal, only one son is a normal, you can see, only one son is a normal, and okay, and only one daughter is a carrier and only one son is a colorblind. Why? Because उसको उसका एक्स क्रोमोसोम कहाँ से मिल रहा है, उसके कैरियर मॉम से मिल रहा है। ओके, नाउ that's all about the hemophilia. I hope you understand जो मैंने अभी तक explain किया. It's just same as color blindness, just different genes and different phenotype. Color blindness में दिखने में दिक्कत थी, यहाँ पे bleeding का problem है. Then let's come towards the violin genes. So अभी हम लोगों ने X-linked देखा जिसमें हमने दो एग्जांपल मैंने डिस्कस किए थे, color blindness and hemophilia. So now let's discuss what is Y-linked gene. So जैसे कि the name itself is explaining कि Y-linked मतलब क्या, the genes जो Y chromosome पे present रहेंगे, or to be more precise, the genes which are present on non-homologous region of a Y chromosomes are called as Y-linked genes. So this particular gene, so as we know कि Y chromosome किस में रहता है, only and only males में रहता है. So the Y-linked genes generally get directly transferred from father to son. So because it shows male to male inheritance. Okay. So there are very few examples of Y-linked genes, but मैंने पहले भी एक बोला था, the same I will discuss again. This particular is like such called as hypertrichosis, which is the condition in which there is a excessive development of the hair on a pin of a ear. मतलब कानों में बालों की ग्रोथ होती है. So that is a one violent trait we can say, and this character can be transmitted from the father to son. मतलब अगर father is showing this particular hypertrichosis condition, then the son will also show the same, and there are chances that the grandson will also show the same, and even the next generation. So that will keep on passing from one generation to next generation, but only from male to male. There is be no females involved. अगर Y chromosome पे है, Y chromosome जा रहा है, तो all the males which are who are receiving the Y chromosome will be affected. Okay, this is not as such in a disease condition, so please make this clear. X link में there are many diseases कि okay hemophilia हो रहा है या फिर color blindness हो रहा है, but in case of Y chromosome, okay, there are few which we are not discussing over here, but then hypertrichosis is a very commonly known, and it is a Y-linked gene. Okay, so I hope you understand the X-linked and Y-linked difference and the example. So that's a very small example we have given. You just need to keep in mind that hypertrichosis is an example of Y-linked inheritance. Okay. Now that's all about the autosomal inheritance and the sex-linked inheritance. So I hope you remember we have started with what? We started with autosomal inheritance. जहाँ पे हम लोगों ने ऑटोसोमल डोमिनेंट देखा, जिसमें हमने विडोस्पिक का एग्जांपल लिया था, एंड द सेकंड एग्जांपल वाज हंटिंगटन डिसीज का. देन हमने ऑटोसोमल रिसेसिव देखा, जिसमें हम लोगों ने फिनोल्केटोनुरिया का एग्जांपल देखा, सिस्टिक फाइब्रोसिस का देखा, सिकल सेल एनीमिया का देखा. So that was the autosomal inheritance, which is because of the genes which are located on the autosomes. Then we started with the sex-linked chromosome, जहाँ पे the sex chromosomes are involved in a particular trait. So हमने देखा कि there can be X-linked inheritance or there can be Y-linked inheritance. So X-linked में there are different types, but हम लोगों ने दो major types को study किया था. What was that? The very first was color blindness, and the second one was the hemophilia. And Y-linked में it is a very short topic, but then there is one common example which we understand, try to understand, that is hypertrichosis. Okay, so that is what we did till now. Come next topic of this. Now it's major. You need to, okay, I am explaining that, but the मुझको थोड़ा focus देना पड़ेगा because it's mainly a theory part. यहाँ पे कोई logic या फिर ज्यादा concept कुछ नहीं आएगा. तो अगर ह्यूमंस में एक्सेस एक्स वाई क्रोमोटाइप है, तो ओके, तो वो कैसे डिटरमाइन करता है, दैट इज समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग. एक्स एक्स वाई होता है, मतलब देयर आर फ्यू थिंग्स जो हमें याद रखनी ही पड़ेगी. ओके, सो I hope you understand till now, and let's start with then the sex determination. So as the term says, what is sex determination? So कोई भी इंडिविजुअल मेल है या फीमेल है या फिर कोई और कैटेगरी में वो बिलोंग करता है, to study that and to understand that it's called as sex determination. The mechanism by which the sex is established, that's like we can say okay, this particular individual is a male, this particular individual is a female, so this is called as sex determination. And on what basis we call them, or on what basis we say कि कोई male है कोई female है, कि उनका sexual phenotype. So we all know there are different sexual arrangement in a male and a female. So that is a phenotypically expressed. Okay, a particular person is a male or female. But then also at a genetic level, that phenotype जो हमें दिख रहा है, वो किसकी वजह से है? That is because of the genetics. So the main is like okay, depends on कि कोई किसी individual को X and X जा रहा है या X and X sorry X and S जा रहा है या X and Y जा रहा है. Depending on that, the sex will be determined. मतलब there is something very interesting. So starting का मतलब जब कोई let's say a baby is there in a let's take a example like okay, a lady is a pregnant. So starting का few weeks there is no differentiation, like मतलब it's not like कि कोई male है कोई female है. Basically it start the development as a female only, and then at during a typical I don't remember the week now, but that during a like initial only, but initial weeks of the development, the Y chromosomes take over, and then it will start the development of the testes and the other male reproductive organs. Okay, and that's how it works. So starting में it's not differentiation कि कोई male है कोई female है. It's only start after the typical sexual development will begin in the fetus or a zygote, or yeah, the fetus is the major. Fetus is what we call that particular individual. So in some species, both male and female reproductive organs are present in the same organism. Yeah, this is possible. Majorly, if you have seen in case of plants, so many flowers are bisexual. उनके पास flowers anthers भी रहते हैं, उनके पास खुद का ही वो typical carpel and stigma वाला setup भी रहता है. So that can be fertilize itself, and it can like the same plant can give a self pollination and uh, do the reproduction. However, there are also some animals, especially the lower animals. So तुम लोगों ने kingdom Animalia में I think ये terms पढ़ा रहेगा, bisexual या फिर hermaphrodite. So what it does it mean कि both the males and female sexual organs are present in a same individual, and that's why they don't like they have both the males and females. So that's why they are bisexual, and that's why they uh, like there is no typical sex as such in male or female. Okay, so they don't need any partner in some cases. However, in some cases a partner is required even if the individual is a bisexual. So I think तुम लोगों ने अगर अर्थवर्म के examples देखा रहेगा during the kingdom Animalia, so you must have heard that thing that the earthworm, even though it's a bisexual, it requires a partner. So there is something called as pseudo copulation and all that thing. So I hope you understand. We will not go in detail in that particular thing. For now, just keep in mind that some individuals can be bisexual. Okay. So this particular bisexual organisms or individuals are also called as hermaphrodite or monoecious. So just keep in mind, don't get confused between the monoecious and dioecious. Generally, people get confused. You कहते monoecious मतलब वो unisexual के रहेगा. No, bisexuals are called as monoecious. However, unisexuals are called as dioecious. So वो थोड़ा confusing terms है, इसलिए just keep in mind this particular thing. So on other hand, as I mentioned, some species like human beings, males are different and the females are different. So that's why we call them unisexual organisms or dioecious. I hope you are clear. So human beings are obviously dioecious. So how these particular things about sex chromosomes or this particular sex pattern came in a picture? So in 1891, a scientist known as Henking discovered the X body. Actually, the scientist was working on a squash bug. It is a typical organism. Even I don't know exactly उस दिखता कैसे है, उसका common name क्या है, but the name is a squash bug. Uh, when he was studying when he was studying the spermatogenesis. So what is spermatogenesis? So development of the sperm in a male individual generally is called as spermatogenesis. Okay, sperm genesis, growth or development. So during that he observed that few sperms are having a typical chromosome structure and few are having a typical chromosome structure. So in May, around 50% of the sperms he was studying was showing a typical X body, like what he called okay, उसके पास a typical structure है जिसको उसने X body बोला, and but then he was like कि okay, जो उसने देखा उसको X body बोलते हैं, but later on जब और studies किए गए, it was observed that कि जो Henking बोल रहा था कि जो उसका X bodies है, that are nothing but the chromosomes, and this particular chromosomes are called as X chromosome. So Henking was the one who discovered all this. I hope you all are with me. सब लोग सुन रहे हैं. So that is a basic difference or a basic thing कि okay, कुछ लोग hermaphrodite होते हैं या फिर कुछ लोग unisexual होते हैं. In our chapter हम लोग mainly unisexual और फिर या फिर mainly the evolved या फिर थोड़े higher organisms के बारे में बात करेंगे. So the very first example is obviously we will talk about human beings because that is important to know how human beings are showing the sexual phenotype. So as I mentioned, human beings में हम लोग XX, XY type pattern follow करते हैं. Why XX, XY? Because whoever is having XX chromosome we call female. Whoever is having XY we call male. So as we know, in human beings there are 23 pairs of the chromosome or 46 chromosome. Out of 23 pairs, the females carry, or both the basically males and female carry 22 pairs of autosomes. That is 44 autosomes. And one pair of sex chromosome. So sex chromosome in case of female क्या होगा XX. So females will be having the chromosome 44 autosomes plus XX. And in case of male, it will be 44 autosomes and XY. The sex chromosome. So now let's see exactly क्या होता है in case of males and what are the possibilities. So during gamete formation in male, as I mentioned कि ये सब कहाँ पे होता है in case of male, we call the term gonads. Gonads मतलब क्या? We call it primary reproductive organs. So in case of males, the primary reproductive organs are the testes, and in case of females, the primary reproductive organs are the ovaries or the eggs. Basically, the ovaries. Okay, not ovar are the gametes, but the ovaries. Okay, so during gamete formation in male, the diploid germ cells in a testis undergo the process of spermatogenesis, that is formation and the development of the sperm, to produce two types of haploid sperm. So why will the male produce two types of haploid sperm? Because उसके पास, when I say haploid, what is this? There will be only one set of chromosome. मतलब उसके पास सिर्फ 23 chromosomes होने वाले हैं. तो उसमें से in case of males अगर देखा कि okay, this 44 are ठीक है, they are same, but then जो sex chromosome है, there are different X and Y. So we call it heterogametic basically, because it can either give X or it can give Y. But in case of female, it can she can only give X chromosome. So the male can produce two types of haploid sperms. So एक में क्या होगा? Or 50% of them will have a 22 autosomes, that is the 44 chromosomes plus X chromosome, and बाकी 50% में क्या रहेगा? 44 chromosomes plus Y chromosomes. So total 23 chromosomes रहेंगे in a haploid sperm. Okay. So just keep in mind, the males in human beings can produce two types of sperm. एक में one type can carry X chromosome along with the autosome, and one type can carry Y chromosomes along with the autosomes. So I hope that is clear. And in case of females, basically the diploid germ cells of ovaries undergo the process of oogenesis. Now, what is oogenesis? As I mentioned, in case of spermatogenesis, development of sperms. So in case of oogenesis, it is formation and development of the ova or the eggs, which is a female gametes. So, but as you see, female में क्या होता है 44 autosomes and X6, मतलब they can only form one type of gamete. So all the gametes in a females will carry 22 autosomes, that is the 44 chromosomes and X chromosome. Thus, it can only form one type of gamete. However, males can form two types of gametes. So that's why, as I mentioned, the male is a heterogametic because it can form either sperm with the X or sperm with a Y. However, the females can only form the sperm with the the egg with the X chromosome. In case of female, it's egg, not the. So how to determine? So basically, you can just look at this particular schematic. So जब ये particular, let's say, as we seen कि in case of female there are only one type of gamete, that is the 22 autosomes and a one X chromosome. But in case of males there are two types of sperm. So let's take an example कि a sperm with a Y chromosome is now and fertilizing with the egg, then the individual will be XY because उसको Y chromosome दे रहा है father and X chromosome दे रहा है mother. तो उसका final genotype क्या रहेगा XY. It means the baby will be male baby or a male individual. But अगर a male sperm with a X chromosome is going and fertilizing the egg of the female, then it will be giving us XX genotype after the fertilization. मतलब the baby will be female. Okay. So I hope you understand that कि जो स्पर्म जाके फर्टिलाइज करेगा उसके वजह पे डिसाइड होगा कि वो बच्चा will be male or a female. So that is the important thing to keep in mind. So let's take an example कि okay, this is a male, this is a female. So the genotype will be male के केस में XY, female के केस में XX. They will undergo meiosis and they will form the gametes. So male will form the X and Y and female will form the X and X. Okay. So now if you see the F1 generation, just do the crossing like the Punnett square. X and Y, X and Y. If you see the first box, X आ रहा है father से, X आ रहा है mother से. So it will be XX, that is a female. If you see the next box, mother is giving X, however the father is giving Y. So that will become XY and the offspring will be the male. In the next case, if you see again, the mother will give X and the father will also give X. So there will be female child. However, in the last case, again X and Y. So it will be male. If you see, अगर किसी couple को बच्चे हो रहे हैं, so there are 4 possibilities and उसमें से अगर तुमने देखा out of this 4, 2 लोग क्या है female से and 2 male से, मतलब there are 50-50 chances. If you take a ratio, okay, there are after mating there can be chances that the baby will be male or a female, that is 50-50. मतलब it's not decided कि पहले से कि क्या होने वाला है, depends on कि कौन सा sperm जाके fertilize कर रहा है. So that's how the human sex determination happens and the human generally follow 1:1 sex ratio. That is, there are chances that कि जितने males बनेंगे उतने ही females बन सकती हैं. So that's the important thing. And then if you see, यहाँ पे हर केस में अगर मेल होना है या फीमेल हो रहा है वो डिसाइड कौन कर रहा है यहाँ पे. इफ यू सी, मेल इज द डिसाइडिंग फैक्टर. So that's why the sex of the child depends on the type of sperm fertilizing the egg. Hence, the father is responsible for the determination of sex of a child and not the mother. Please keep in this mind. I hope you all must be knowing because हम लोग सब science पढ़ रहे हैं, so there is quite good openness or understanding about all these subjects, but then others don't know. And that's why if you are seeing there are so many female feticide cases, and then people generally do MTP for females या फिर before delivery only they will just kill, or after delivery they will kill. Like so many cases are there because they consider a female child is like they don't accept basically because of the typical thinking जो हम लोग मतलब we are trying to change but then obviously it's a thinking or a typical way. And then what they say कि अगर किसी को लड़की हो रही है then the lady is involved or the female or a mother is responsible that the female child and not the father. And then they you must have seen a lot of exploitation is observed कि females are or the women are suffering a lot because of these particular issues because there is no awareness कि जो बच्चा होता है that is because of the father contribution कि इसका sex क्या होने वाला है not the mother का. But then people don't understand and because of this lack of knowledge women are often blamed and for giving the birth for the female child and that actually leads to a large number of issues. I hope this is clear. I hope you understand this. कुछ doubt है यहाँ तक? Hello. This is not very difficult but then if you feel कि कुछ है यहाँ पे please ask. Okay, so nobody is asking, so I am considering कुछ doubt नहीं है और moving ahead. So now ये हमने जो देखा that was a normal sex determination in case of males. But then there is something called as sex determination in case of birds also. So as we see human beings में कौन सा pattern है XX XY. But then birds में the chromosomal mechanism is ZW ZZ. बिकॉज इनके पास दो क्रोमोसोम्स है जेड एंड डब्ल्यू. ओके जैसे हमारे पास है एक्स एंड वाई. So in this case, the females are so if you observe हमारा in case of human beings the males were heterogametic because उसके पास क्या था x and y. However, the females were homogametic because उनके पास क्या था x and x. So in this type, the females are heterogametic, which is opposite to that of the human beings. And heterogametic मतलब उसके पास क्या होगा z and w chromosomes. And that's why the females now produce two types of eggs. So the 50% will carry Z chromosome and the 50% will carry the W chromosomes. Okay, so just keep in mind, human beings में male was the one कि दो types के gametes बना रहा था या फिर sperm बना रहा था, but यहाँ पे females बना रही है. And as the male is homogametic, मतलब उसके पास सिर्फ Z chromosome है, वो सिर्फ एक ही type का sperm बना सकता है. That is the sperm that carries the autosomes and the Z chromosome. Okay. So now, who will decide the sex of the chromosome? It will be the female who will decide the sex of the chromosome. Why? Because मेल gamete तो एक ही है, वो तो सिर्फ जेड ही दे सकता है. बट डिपेंडिंग ऑन कि वो जेड जाके किसके साथ फर्टिलाइज कर रहा है, मतलब कौन से एक के साथ जाके फर्टिलाइज कर रहा है, दैट विल डिसाइड द सेक्स ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल. सो इन दिस केस एज द फीमेल्स आर हेट्रोगैमेटिक, अगर दिस पर्टिकुलर मेल स्पर्म जो कि होमोगैमेटिक है मतलब जिसके पास जेड क्रोमोसोम रहेगा, वो जाके अगर उसने जेड क्रोमोसोम वाले एक को फर्टिलाइज किया, देन द इंडिविजुअल विल बी जेड जेड मतलब वो मेल होगा. बट अगर उसने वाई अगर उसने डब्ल्यू क्रोमोसोम वाले एक को जाके फर्टिलाइज किया, देन द क्रोमोसोम विल देन द इंडिविजुअल विल बी विद जेड एंड डब्ल्यू क्रोमोसोम्स मतलब वो फीमेल होगा. दैट इज अ हेट्रोगैमेटिक. दैट्स व्हाई द सेक्स ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल इन दिस पर्टिकुलर species or of birds depends on which kind of egg is fertilized by the sperm, and that's why the female decide the sex of the baby. If you want to see in case of the schematic, you can see here parents like male and female उनका genotype क्या होगा. In case of male it's 2n. In case of plus ZW. So gametes will be n plus z, n plus z मतलब happy रहेंगे वो भी. So male will only use Z chromosome wala gametes. Only single type of gamete is there if you see. And in case of female, two types of gametes are there. Now just do the crossing and you will see there are chances that मेल बर्ड कब होगा जब ये Z जाके Z वाले एक को ही फर्टिलाइज करेगा, एंड फीमेल कब होगा जब ये Z जाके W को फर्टिलाइज करेगा. So that's how the happens in a sex chromosome sex determination in case of bird. So Saurav is asking that in this case फीमेल को ब्लेम करना सही है क्या. it's not like blaming. See, it's not like you in any sex basically, even in case of human beings, it's not like we can blame now males कि okay वो male बना this sperm लेके जा रहा है कि हाँ भाई अभी this time only X chromosome will go or this time only Y chromosome will go. It's not like that. It's a natural process. In a typical male body, both X and both like the sperms like 50% with the X chromosome and 50% Y chromosome. वो naturally बन रहे हैं. It's not like कि उसमें किसी का control है. That is the process. Body का वो pattern है वो बनते रहेंगे. And जब होगा mating, so obviously the typical X and Y, the typical two types of sperm जो है human beings में, वो दोनों के दोनों टाइप जाएंगे. It's all about कि वो race कौन जीतता है. If you are saying there is a lot of obstacles or hurdles for the sperms to reach the zygote to reach the egg of the female for fertilization. मतलब millions of the sperms are in a race and only one can fertilize the female egg. So that is a thing. So we never know कि कभी कभी शायद X जाके fertilize करेगा कभी शायद Y करेगा. So even that is not the case in something like we can say in a hands of the males also. But okay, males are the deciding factor कि उनके वजह से the sex will get determined. Same will be in case of birds कि वो बर्ड खुद नहीं बोलेगा कि हाँ भाई chromosome वाला एक this time take the Y W chromosome वाला एक, ऐसा वो खुद से डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता. That is the naturally happening process कि कौन सा egg is at that time mature and किस कौन सा egg is taking the sperm which is coming from the male individual. So yes, they can decide the factor the कौन सा sex बनेगा. That will definitely depend इनकी female या फिर in case of human beings कि कौन सा sperm male जाके दे रहा है करके. That is deciding, but that is nothing to relate with the males की मेल्स को ब्लेम करो या फीमेल्स को ब्लेम करो. सो ब्लेमिंग इन इधर केस मतलब फीमेल्स को भी करना या फिर मेल्स को भी करना, दैट इज टोटली रॉन्ग थिंग कि बिकॉज दैट इज नॉट समथिंग इन आवर हैंड. वो सब नेचुरली हो रहा है. सो वी कांट यूज द वर्ड ब्लेम, बट देन अनफॉर्चुनेटली एज आई मेंशन कि कुछ लोगों के विचार या फिर थॉट्स आर नॉट दैट इम्प्रूव्ड. सो दे स्टिल थिंक कि ओके फीमेल इज नॉट फीमेल इज समवन के जो डिसाइड करिए कि बच्चा मतलब लड़का होगा या लड़की होगी करके. That's why they start on exploiting. तो अगर किसी को again and again लड़कियां हो रही है, so then they will do the second marriage of their son. So मतलब it's kind of the exploitation for the females and even the reason for the female feticide. So blaming is not favored in any case. फिर वो birds में हो या फिर humans में हो.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So that is about the sex determination in the case of birds. Now a last type of sex determination in case of honeybees. So if you see, हमने start किया था human beings का sex determination which are highly evolved organisms. Then हमने देखा birds में sex determination which are nothing but the mammals but the aves category. A little but less evolved we can say than the human beings. And now we are looking at the honeybees. So to which phylum does honeybees belong? कौन से phylum में आते हैं ये?
Arthropoda.
Yeah, so honeybees belong to the arthropoda. Very good. So this particular insect also show typical. So why we want to study this particular sex determination? Because this is something different. मतलब थोड़ा unique है और understanding के लिए important भी है. And that's why we need to understand. And this is also important. मतलब I remember when I gave my board exam, this was the question for 2 marks. So this is obviously an important topic. Exam also, from exam point of view also. So the sex determination in honeybees is the different type. So basically it's a haplodiploidic type. So अभी तक हमने देखा कि okay, this it can be XX or XY or it can be ZZ or ZW, but in this case it's haplodiploidic. So there is no typical sex chromosome as such जो कि डिसाइड करेगा कि सेक्स क्या होगा इंडिविजुअल का. बट टिपिकली अ पर्टिकुलर इंडिविजुअल के पास कितने क्रोमोसोम सेट्स है दैट विल डिसाइड उसका सेक्स. So in this type, the sex of the individual is determined by the number of set of chromosomes received. Please highlight and mark this point. कि सेक्स किसके वजह से डिसाइड होगा, नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ द सेक्स क्रोमोसोम बट बिकॉज ऑफ द number of sets received by the individual. So in this particular case, अगर हम लोग फीमेल, तो हम लोग अगर if it's only based on कि कितने क्रोमोसोम्स थे, how will we say कि कौन सा मेल है और कौन सा फीमेल? So the next point explain that only. So in case of honeybees, there are total 32 chromosomes in a diploid case and 16 chromosomes in a haploid case. So the female are diploid. So अगर कोई भी इंडिविजुअल अगर डिप्लॉयड है देन वी विल से कि वो फीमेल है, और अगर कोई भी इंडिविजुअल अगर हैप्लॉयड है वी विल से कि वो मेल है. तो अभी सिर्फ देख के तो वी कैन से, मतलब वी कैन एक्चुअली से देख के भी सॉरी कि वो मेल है या फीमेल है, बिकॉज अ टिपिकल फिनोटाइप इज फॉलोअर. सो अगर तुम लोगों ने देखा रहेगा हनीबीज को, देयर आर फ्यू हनीबीज वो कुछ बहुत बड़ी होती है, मतलब नॉट इन डिफरेंट स्पीशीज वाइज, स्पीशीज वाइज तो डेफिनेटली वेरिएशंस हो रहे हैं, बट लेट्स से एक पर्टिकुलर हनी कॉम है ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर ट्री, तो अगर वहां पे देखोगे बहुत सारी जो बड़ा बड़ा पॉपुलेशन रहता है वो हनी कॉम में, वो स्मॉल रहता है, बहुत छोटा छोटा रहता है, दैट आर द वर्कर्स बी. और उसमें से एक कोई जो है बड़ा सा बी रहता है, दैट इज क्वाइट बिग इन साइज देन द नॉर्मल बीज, एंड एक्चुअली दैट इज द बी व्हिच इज अ queen, which actually keep on laying in the eggs and keep on raising the offspring basically. So that even looking at them we can say कि कौन सी मेल है, कौन सी worker and कौन सी queen. In a similar way there is a males which can be identified even after even by looking. So actually in an old textbook there was a photo given कि okay male female and a worker भी ऐसे, but तुम्हारे बुक में नहीं दिया है. You can look it on the internet but it is available. But the key point over here is females are diploid and males are haploid. So now what will be the gametes in this particular case? So in case of females, as we know, females के case में eggs होते हैं, so the female will produce the haploid eggs and the males will produce the haploid sperms. So haploid मतलब उनके पास सिर्फ 16 chromosomes रहेंगे, only one set of chromosomes will be present. If the now egg is fertilized by the sperm, then there will be fertilization and it will develop the diploid individual. So अगर fertilization हुआ मतलब diploid ही होगा and diploid हुआ, so that individual will be what? Female, because diploid only females can be diploid. So in this case, queen and the worker bees are the diploid and they are the females. However, if the unfertilized egg develops from the the unfertilized egg will be developed into the male individual or a male bees called as drone. So just keep in mind there are three terms: queen, which is the main bee or the leading bee of the honeycomb, जो eggs lay करेगी. Then the workers, जो लोग actually जाके this particular nectar लेके आएंगे and they will actually help in nurturing. And then drone, जिसका काम रहेगा fertilize करो मर जाओ, मतलब in case of this. So the actually before going to that, just keep in mind the males are developed by the parthenogenesis, मतलब there is no fertilization involved. जो कि unfertilized egg रहेगा उसका directly male बन जाएगा, and that's why as there is no fertilization involved उसका number of chromosome भी 16 ही रहेगा. That's why we say कि males are haploid and females are diploid, and the process is called as parthenogenesis. तुम लोगों ने in case of plants parthenocarpy सुना रहेगा, which is also a development without a fertilization. So in case of plants it's parthenocarpy. In case of animals it is a parthenogenesis. Okay, so after reproduction then the depending on उनके पास कितने chromosomes है उनका pattern क्या है, they will be divided into males and female, and females may be it can be either queen or a worker bee. So on what basis they are comparing कि कौन सा bee बनेगा queen और कौन सा बनेगा worker bee, because एक particular comb में only one queen can be there. So it will be decided by कि वो क्या खा रही है. So there are something called as specialized material called as royal jelly, जो सिर्फ कुछ इंडिविजुअल्स को ही खाने को मिलते हैं या फिर कुछ बच्चों को ही खाने के लिए मिलते हैं, देन दे विल डेवलप एज अ क्वीन ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप. तो अगर किसी को रॉयल जेली खाने को मिल गया, इफ दे कंज्यूम, देन दे विल डेवलप एज अ क्वीन. किसी को नहीं मिला, दे विल बी वर्कर्स. सो दैट्स हाउ दे डेवलप. सो but just keep in mind, the males are haploid, but they can fertilize the female. The queen is fertile and she can keep on laying the eggs, but the worker bees जो रहते हैं, they are sterile, so they cannot produce any offspring. मतलब उनको बच्चे नहीं हो सकते. They can just work and then die. Okay, that's it. So in even the males, that is the drones, are very short life. Like I don't know how many of you have heard this term, but there is something called as orgasms. मतलब when the male is giving or is showing the mating with the queen, after a particular point, there is a that particular type of orgasm that the male, male sexual organs will just get explode or फट जाते हैं, and then after mating, the males generally die in case of the honeybees. So that is happening. That happens in case of honeybees, which is a typical interesting fact we can say about the honeybees, that the males generally die after mating because of the heavy orgasm, because the sexual organisms exploits. So
सर
just a
हेलो
skill. Huh?
सर, वो रॉयल जेली कहाँ से मिलती है उनको?
Actually, there are some plants basically which is a source, and actually some even I am not very clear, so I will tell you in this next class. But then जितना मुझे पता है अभी तक, they actually collect this food from different plant sources. ये सब जो honeybees रहते हैं, they are collecting the nectar and all from the different plants. So a specific material which they are collecting from the nature only is considered as a royal jelly. But उसका exactly composition क्या होता है, मतलब उसमें सब कुछ होता है. उसमें होता है ग्लूकोज, उसमें रहता है some like adhesive material, some sugary material, some proteins, some amino acids, सब कुछ. It's a very nutritious material. So royal jelly is actually a very nutritious material. Even it is used as a supplement in case of human beings, as a medicine also use करते हैं. So it is very nutritious, and that's why since the only few bees are receiving this particular nutritious material जिसके पास सब कुछ है, they becomes more developed in all sense, sexually and also by development, by size and all also. So that is the difference. But exactly ये कहाँ से मिलता है, that I need to check कि कौन से plants are the source of royal jelly. But I can tell you कि उसका composition क्या है, कि उसके पास carbohydrates रहता है, उसके पास proteins रहता है, उसके पास lipids रहता है, some extra important components रहते हैं which are making it more and more nutritious. Okay, but I will tell you कि exactly कौन से plants are giving up the royal jelly. Okay.
ओके सर.
Yeah. So this is a schematic जहाँ पे you can see कि females are diploid, 32 chromosomes, male are haploid, 16 chromosomes, and then there are haploid gametes produced by females, 16 and 16. In case of male, 16. So one typical set of the chromosomes or gametes will directly develop into male individual by without fertilization, or we can call it by parthenogenesis, and that's why they will develop into male. However, one particular set of chromosome from a female will fertilize with the male gametes and they will produce a diploid. So diploid can be females and they can be either a worker or a twin. Okay. So that's all for a day. In this lecture हम लोगों ने sex determination देखा and X-linked and Y-linked diseases देखे. If you have any doubt till now, please let me know. Part of this chapter, which is I hope the last topic. We will try to finish off in the next lecture, and the chapter will be over. So if you are having any doubt, please read and come up in the next lecture. I will try to solve out whatever possible from my side. But